Alright, ninjas, you ready for our last and final video here on the Pokemon card? So last time I promised I'd explain a little bit more about the styles, so we'll get into that right now, and then I'll leave you off with a task to do so you can have some fun on your own. So, as you can see, we have our Pokemon here, and we have our styles. So, I know at the end of the last video, I think I called them style tags, but pardon that was actually wrong. These are actually known as selectors. So I know I called them style tags, but they're actually selectors. So you can kind of read this as select and style all elements with class main div. So this style selector, this class selector, will select the main div class element. So it's going to select that element and style it. Okay, so I think we kind of have that established. Sorry for the misuse of words there at the end of the last video, but now let's get into it. So I think the only thing I didn't explain last time was this element right here, this selector right here, this list span selector. So this is what's known as a CSS selector. It will select all list elements, all the span elements underneath the list class. Okay, so if you take a look here, we have this list class. It's going to select the span elements. So it'll select these elements right here, these span elements, and apply a font weight of bold to that specific element. Okay, well, it's of course easier if you can see it. So you can right click here and inspect. It'll bring up that span, see, average height, and it has a style of bold. Okay, great. So that's how you select the HTML elements to style them. So I'm hoping everybody kind of makes sense out of that. Now we'll go over a little bit of the styles, and then I'll leave you off with an awesome little task to kind of have fun and try it out on your own. So let's take a look here. We'll start at the top. The heading is class heading, and it has a margin and text align center, and I gave it a color and a text decoration of underline. So you can see that there's the same there as it is in here, the margin, text align, color, and the underline. So it's all the same here as it is in our code. That's good. But you can check and uncheck to see what each one does. I mean, some of them are pretty self-descriptive, a color of yellow. This one centers the text. If I uncheck it, oh, it goes over to the left. It's no longer centered. And this applies a margin around the whole box there. You can think of each element as a box that applies a margin around it. So that's pretty self-explanatory. That's how you get an underline. And now, I guess I'll talk about centering a div as something. So if we want to center this div, this divider, we apply a margin around it. So now this is what it would look like by default, but if we wanted to center it like we did, we'd have to apply this margin. And this margin helps us center it. So it starts, so you see how it says 0, auto, 0, auto. So that starts at the top with a margin of 0, and then it goes to the right here, and applies an automatic margin, then a 0, and then another automatic margin. And the two automatic margins on the sides center it. So that's just a little theory there if you were wondering what that does and how it works. The rest of it is, again, pretty self-explanatory. Most of the little styles, like we have a border, unselect that and the border's gone. You can make the border width thicker, higher pixels, like say 5, and that'll, see, and now it's nice and thick compared to what it was before. You can change the color even of the border color to blue. Oh, look, now it's blue. So you can kind of go in and style this as you would like it with that. Make it pretty easy. So you can add your own styles to it. And then here in this paragraph tag, we had font style of italic. So if you uncheck it, it'll just be standard font. Check it again, it'll be italic. And again, this is all in the code. See the font style of italic right there, the font style of italic for this fact paragraph. Okay, well that makes sense. And so that's how you style different elements with CSS. So now I'll leave you off with a task to make your own Pokemon card with one of the images I provided. You can do Psyduck, Sandslash, or Bulbasaur. So I'll show you how to get started with that, and then you can kind of style your own, and you can make the border colors different, or the text color different, or the size of the image different. However, whatever you want it to do, you can kind of make it your own. So open up Sublime Text. We'll do a file. We want a new file. And then from there, you want to do File, Save As, and then save it as. Say we'll do Sand slash. Okay, sorry, my keyboard's small. I have big fingers. Sand slash .html. You want to make sure you add the .html, and then click Save. So you can name it whatever you like. I'm naming this one Sand slash, so you can see it here, right in the file. With the other index HTML, we have the Sand slash HTML now. Okay, great. So now you can go into the index, and you can just highlight all of this, right click and copy, go right into Sand slash, right click and paste that there. Great. Then you want to save it again, okay, and then you can go back into the folder here and open this with Google Chrome just like we did before, and then that'll be the same as before because we haven't changed anything, we just copied it. So then there's Pikachu at the moment, so you can right click and inspect to open up your debugging tools. And then see, now I'll show you one quick thing so you can get started. See the image tag here, it selects the Pikachu image right there. But well, we wanted Sandslash. Okay, so let's change the Pikachu.png to Sandslash.png and see what that does. I think you probably know what that's going to do. Okay, so Sandslash, PNG. Okay, great. So that should put that image of Sandslash in there. So save it. Make sure you save it. And then go back to Google Chrome and refresh it. Oh, look. See, there he is. Great. Now you can write all about Sandslash. Make this your own. Have fun. And enjoy. Make sure you have fun doing this because it can be a lot of fun. So you can delete all the text about Pikachu out of this paragraph tag. So that's a paragraph tag if I hadn't mentioned. And then you can write all about Sandslash within the tag. So make sure you write about Sandslash within the tag there, right in between here. So otherwise it won't render. You can't write in there because that won't work. So write about your favorite fact about Sandslash, and you can put write about, what category he's in, his height, his weight, all the statistics you can get. So you can write about him here, and then you can kind of write a little bit more about him here, whatever you want to do. But have fun with it. All right, great job, ninjas. Okay, all right, one last thing I forgot to mention, I just want to make sure nobody gets confused here, is that when you're making changes in Google Chrome here, when I was making changes in Google Chrome here, like before, like say I wanted to change the color from yellow to blue. Okay, see it changes here, but that change isn't going to be permanent. So when we refresh the page, oh, it's gone. Okay, so if you wanted your change to be permanent, you have to edit it in the code here. So you'd want to change it to blue here and save, and then go back to Chrome and refresh, and then that will be permanent. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody wasn't confused by that. And when you're styling your own Pokemon card, make the final changes in Sublime and save it, and then it'll be permanent in Chrome. But you can do temporary changes to see how they would look here in Chrome to see if that's what you want to do, if that's how you want to work. So that's a good way to do it, and a good way to get a feel for it is to do it here in Chrome if you like, and then you can put the permanent changes in your code however you want to work. But just wanted to make sure nobody was confused about that. And so go on ahead and style your Pokemon card however you want, write about them, and then have fun with it. And next time, if everybody's interested, maybe we'll do something. I'll show you how to link the two cards together so you can have a link. You can go from Pikachu to Sandslash and vice versa. Okay, great. Good job, ninjas. Have fun. Enjoy. Bye.